The first place Minnesota Twins are losing their pitching coach to a college. We're going to break it down on today's episode of Locked On Twins.
You are Locked On Twins, your daily Minnesota Twins podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome to the Locked On Minnesota Twins podcast. Today is Sunday, June 26th. It's Sunday night, and today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline is where the game starts. Who better in times of Twins anarchy to bring into the show than Matt Braun? Matt, how are you, my friend?
Oh, you're always just so flattering. I love being on here. I'm doing great. It is actually, every time I talk, because I live in Washington, it's just terrible weather. It's actually very nice out right now. So a nice change of pace.
Yes, it's very hot here, as you might expect in the desert, but we're pushing through. I'm in the AC, so I'm doing okay. But I'm a little shaken up, Matt. Wes Johnson, the breaking news we're having a great Sunday. The Twins win the series. You and I are setting up to chat at some point, soon to talk about the Twins. And I read on Twitter that LSU is hiring away Wes Johnson. What was your reaction to this news with the first place Twins? It's not like the Twins are in last place with like a team ERA of 10. They're in first place in the Central.
Yeah. I mean, it was very funny how I found out to this. It was similar to when we were talking and the Donaldson trade dropped. And God, good Lord, nothing can ever top that. But I just got, because I'm not on Twitter as much these days, I saw on Slack, someone asked, are we doing a thing about the Wes Johnson news? I'm like, Wes Johnson news? What the hell just happened? Yeah, the dude's going to LSU. Holy crap. I'm stunned. I racking my brain. I can't think of another time in baseball. The only other time I could think of it in football, I know it happened with, I believe it was Coach Bobby Petrino, who Mike Zimmer infamously called a gutless bastard. But in baseball, I've never heard of this happening in the middle of the season.
Crazy. Wes Johnson is leaving. Reports are from our friends Aaron and Dan at The Athletic that he will stay through the Cleveland series, which is so weird to me, Matt. Like,
right?
He's going to stay there for the 5-game series with the second place Guardians. They're 2 games behind, and then he's going to leave. That to me is just super weird.
I mean, this whole thing right now, it's weird. It's going to get weirder, I'm going to predict, in the next few days as we hear more about this process, which we're going to talk about. I know we're going to get into more of just what's leading up to this, because we have some breadcrumbs and we can put together some sort of outline, but there's still so many details of just why this would happen. And like you said, so he's going to be there. He's a dead man walking, and we're going to expect everyone to just be respectful about it. I don't know.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. So Wes Johnson, the Twins, of course, hired Johnson from Arkansas in 2019, was brought in as like this new school, TrackMan loving, new school pitching coach who really focused on, I don't want to use the word analytics, but focused on pitch shape, increasing slider usage, increasing my best pitch usage for a lot of these Twins pitchers. And he comes in 2019. Instant success. It's hard to link up that success sometimes. 2020 was great. The shortened season, they pitched the lights out. Last year sucked. And so far this year, middling results. They pitched very well out of the gate. They've had their moments. But overall, I would say it's been a strong tenure for Wes Johnson. So what's your reaction to this, Matt, knowing that it's been pretty good for the Twins? This relationship feels like it's been pretty good. How do you feel about him leaving mid-season?
Right. Well, I mean, we've never heard anything about any sort of conflict, any sort of discrepancy. He always seemed like the feisty, useful, wise, sage pitching coach. And like you said, I mean, the results more speak for themselves. How much we can attribute Jay Happ and Matt Schumacher just stinking to him and to them, that's a whole deal in itself. But overall, generally, you'd say, yeah, this was a successful hiring. To see him suddenly leave, it's very bizarre. But I will say this. And I think Tom said the same thing, our good friend Tom Froming. He didn't say this, but I'm going to expand the discussion into that. The way pitching works these days and the way pitching coaches and the way players are coached these days, it's so much of a group effort that to just have one guy out and leave, I don't think it's going to be as big of an impact as perhaps some people may think it is. Is there an emotional impact? Probably. We'll have to see. It depends on the guys. Depends on how they take it. But the rumors are that it's going to be Pete Mackey and some other people stepping up. And those are very capable people. Those are people who have been around baseball forever and they know what they're doing. So I don't envision this being like the world-altering move that it may feel like it is right now.
Yeah, Pete Mackey, the Twins bullpen coach, reports that he's going to step into Johnson's role. Luis Ramirez is also an assistant pitching coach for the Twins. Assume, he'll take some more responsibility. But it's crazy. I mean, I think the timing of it, if this would have happened after the season, again, if the Twins were like in last place and pitching like they did last year, then it would be like, okay, maybe this is a good separation. It's good for both sides for maybe Wes to move on and for Pete to get a chance. But in the middle of a season, when they're in first place and he's leaving to go to LSU, it's shocking. I mean, it's just shocking. And we've heard that the money at LSU certainly is better. Kyle Boddy was tweeting, old Driveline guy. I think he's still at Driveline and was the pitching coordinator, I believe, for the Reds, was tweeting that he's going to make double at LSU. Apparently he was making $350,000 for the Twins and is going to make double at LSU. But to me, Matt, like, why wouldn't the Twins be able to match that if they wanted to keep Wes Johnson? And the report is that there wasn't even a conversation about the money.
Well, I don't know. And the tough thing is because we're never in those conversations that I don't think we're ever really going to know exactly the nuances and the details. Generally speaking, though, and what I've picked up from, again, I follow Kyle as well. I was reading what he was saying, as long as I think Saris also put in a nugget or two, that there is this big discrepancy between how the professionals treat their pitching coaches and how they pay them and how the college teams do it. And it's surprisingly switched, which I think would surprise a lot of people. So why couldn't the Twins do it? I don't know. I think that speaks more towards the overall culture than any deficiency on the Twins. It'd be like, I mean, you're asking them to double the pay to really stand out in front, and I don't think any team is ever going to do that particularly well. I know it's a very like negative thing to say, but that's just the way I see it.
LSU with the number 2 recruiting class in the country is what I read. And they might lose some of those guys to the draft, certainly out of high school, but I'm sure he's stepping into a great situation there. He was in the SEC with Arkansas, then came to the Twins and goes right back to the college ranks. It's just shocking. I mean, it's shocking. And I know we both kind of felt that way when we saw it, but we've been here together, Matt. We've done this before where Donaldson was traded while we were recording, and it was just so shocking. And now Wes Johnson is going back to the college ranks. Let's talk more about his tenure with the Twins, some of the good things, maybe some of the things that stuck out to us that could improve perhaps in the future. There's always places they can improve, and certainly on the pitching staff. Let's do that after a couple words from our friends, Blue Nile. We're going to start with Athletic Greens. What is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/MLB Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. If you're looking for fine jewelry and you want to make your moment sparkle, go to BlueNile.com. Blue Nile has simple online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her perfect engagement ring. Each ring is one of a kind. Looking for fine jewelry but having trouble choosing? Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com, and Locked On Sports, Locked On Twins listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement. Use code LOCKEDON. That's code LOCKEDON plus. Every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever peace. Go to BlueNile.com today. So, Matt, let's look back on Wes Johnson's tenure here with the Twins. How would you describe it? If you had one word to describe, and this is his 4th season, so 3.5 years with the Twins, and I know it's hard to link that success, but if you had one word to describe this tenure, how would you do it?
I'd say consistent. Mostly consistent. I mean, there is always the exception of 2021.
Yes.
But even looking back and look through 2019 now of the 3 and some years change that we have of a sample of his work, it's been mostly good. And you like to keep around coaches who have a mostly good track record.
Yeah. And the slider usage, I think, is something that I always thought with him. Matt Whistler, Chris Archer's resurgence now this year. If I described it in a word, I would say positive. I mean, I think it was a positive tenure. Like you said, though, it's a group effort, and it's not just Wes Johnson. And we know that, and that's true of a manager. That's true of a pitching coach or a hitting coach. Sometimes it's not just one guy. Matt, do you think there's anything that we'll find out beyond this? Like, is it as simple as a cut and dry? Could it be as cut and dry as just like he's getting more money? Like, I didn't sense or feel anything. We're not there. We don't know. But like it felt as though Wes Johnson was a great fit for the Twins through these 3.5 years.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure exactly how much we're ever going to learn. I know we'll learn more. I don't know if we'll ever know the specific details of these conversations. But I think the timing of it, though, as you point out, as people have also pointed out that it's about the money, the timing of it seems to be more like, because this is just the end of college baseball season, that he's doing it more in favor of LSU than he is in dissing the Twins, if that makes any sense. And that if he was really wanting to diss the Twins, you think he wouldn't be leaving them right after a very convenient time to go to another college organization, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So that's why I don't think it's going to be as hard felt. I think it was just a case of, hey, this other team's offering me something that's just really good, too good. And I just know I'm never going to get it here. I know if I wait, who knows what happens, and I want to head out.
Yeah, that's it for Wes Johnson and the Twins. Well, not really. He's going to stay for 5 games
allegedly.
In Cleveland. This is going to be very awkward to watch. Watching on TV, I'm almost looking forward to like Dick Bramer and whoever he's with in Cleveland, if it's LaTroy or whoever, talking about this, showing Wes on TV in the Twins dugout. So weird to me. This is so weird. He's on the plane right now. And I don't think this is the way the Twins wanted this to drop either. I'm sure it leaked out. They probably wanted to control this press release, and it clearly, I think, got away from them. And it's out there as they're on the plane to Cleveland. It's a wild situation, but only the Twins, Matt, right?
Right. That seems how it is. Even after they, win a series, win a game in deciding fashion, we're all feeling good. We just saw Yoander on melt some brains, and oh wait.
Yeah, and let's talk about these Twins a little bit. Today,
oh, please.
Yes, today, Joe Ryan, not so hot, right? The command was not really there. And he's part of a rotation that's been up and down, I think, in June.
Without a doubt. I was quite surprised. I was listening to the call, and I think they mentioned that this is only the second time they've won back-to-back games in the entire month.
Wow.
Which, I mean, I knew they weren't doing the best, but I mean, you put it that way, it's just really paints why it's now a 2-game lead and not the whatever it was before, the very healthy lead they had. But yeah, I think we're starting to see the depth as it's falling off. It's really now being exposed as a problem. Devin Smeltzer somehow kind of getting away with it, but they're really missing Bailey Ober. Him not being around hurts. Even Sonny Gray was a little inconsistent in his last start. Chris Archer is God knows with him. And Dylan Bundy is Dylan Bundy. So you really have just, it kind of feels like a wild card each day. And now even Joe Ryan, how much can we trust him? His command just has not looked great ever since coming off the COVID IL.
Yeah, he's not the same Joe Ryan we've come to know, and you almost expect something from him when you see his name, and he hasn't delivered on those expectations. But he gutted through 5 innings today, I guess, gave up 3 runs against a Rockies lineup that away from Coors Field is just terrible. I mean, this is a very bad Rockies team. They have some good players. Every bad team has good players. To me, even when I look at the Orioles or I look at the Pirates or the Reds, when I see the Rockies lineup, I think this lineup is really, really bad. So it's a good thing that the Twins took 2 out of 3 here, Matt.
Right. You kind of have to. Although and they really should have won that first game. It was a really weird game. I've never at 5 walks to 2 strikeouts. Good Lord. And you lose. That's just strange. But yeah, it's good to see them get back. You beat bad teams. It's what you're expected to do, but you still got to do it. Maybe it gives them a bit more confidence going into this Cleveland series. I think the big story is that Byron, I don't know if he feels healthy, but he sure as hell looks healthy with the way he's hitting. So to have him on it, to have him crushing it against Cleveland, I like their chances better now to actually take that series.
There have been it's every year there's some really fun developments, even when the Twins are bad. Like last year, Jorge Polanco bouncing back from 2020 and having, the Twins MVP level season where he was 5 wins above replacement level. That's a great development. Joe Ryan last year, Bailey Ober. There's always good developments, even on a terrible team, and this team's in first place. The biggest development to me, I didn't think Luis Arraez had another level, and we've talked about him before, and we've talked about him since 2019. I didn't think this was possible for him. What have been your feelings on watching Luis Arraez this year as compared to other years?
Right. Well, it's weird because I don't recognize the process as being significantly different. But the results, I mean, they speak for themselves. It's incredible to watch. Is he still leading in batting average and OBP? I still think he is. We know he's never going to slug, but now he's added at least a little bit of that to his game. And it sounds like that's through his work with Nelson Cruz, working on his lower half. Of course, Nelson, the gift that keeps on giving. You love that guy. And that was really it. That was what was missing from him. And I think adding that small dimension of power, that occasional ability to pull a ball off a guy like Garrett Cole, holy crap, did we ever expect that to happen, has now just made him so much more intimidating that you see it all the time. Pitchers like, I don't even want to get out of here, man. You're just going to walk anyways. Why waste the effort? And it's incredible. Just his bat to ball skills and now that little bit of extra power. I mean, it just insert as many superlatives as you can think of. It's just incredible.
Twins are 41-33 in first place. But do Matt and I think that this team is legit for the rest of the year? Let's talk about it after this word from BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. If you want to bet on the Twins in this Cleveland series, go to betonline.net. It's your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. BetOnline is where the game starts. So the Twins, if I were to show you this before the season, I think you would have been happy. And I think I would have been happy too. Show me the standings right now. The White Sox are 3 games below 500. Cleveland's in there. They're 2 games behind the Twins. Twins are 41-33. So we'll take that and acknowledge that. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, Matt, but I think we would have been happy with this outcome we've seen so far. But what does it mean for you when you look at this team and you think about the next 3 months as we lead into October?
Right. So, the way I see it, this is, and I think I was a bit more optimistic. This is about what I actually expected. I'm this perennial White Sox hater. I don't think they're very good at all. And yeah, they're doing poor again. I mean, Eloy Jimenez can't play defense without injuring himself. I'm sorry. Although Dylan Cease is now good.
I know,
that's annoying me. God, I'm so annoyed.
He's making us look terrible.
He found command, and I'm like, damn it.
Hey, but you know who took his spot? Giolito took his spot.
That's true. That's true. Giolito took. Also, can we talk about Lance Lynn was a pissy little shit when he played for the Twins, and now everyone loves him because he's a big fat dude. Okay, I have strong opinions.
You're not doing it either. So
right. Okay. Anyway, I need to calm back down. Anyways, anyways, the White Sox, I never thought they were great, but I still thought they at least had the talent there. I just knew they were always going to be held back by Tony La Russa, and he's still there, so I'm still not worried about them. The second they fire him and put someone competent there, then I start to get a little bit worried. Cleveland, they surprised me a little bit. I didn't think they were for real at all. I think I was texting my good friend Andrew about it. I was just like, I don't believe in them at all. But after actually watching them, I think their offense is better than I anticipated. And we all know their pitching's always going to be great. I don't know how Brian Shaw's still around. Good Lord. I think he's like 100.
The cutter.
He was toast in like 2019. He was on the Mariners of all teams.
He pitched for the Palm Springs Power. Put a little respect on his name.
My bad.
Shaw is a Power alumni.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll show some respect to the. Well, he's still hitting like 96 or something. Like, God, man. Yeah. Anyways, I think their offense is a little bit better than I anticipated. You've seen Andres Jimenez break out, even as Franmil Reyes has fallen off, and Jose Ramirez is just unbelievable as always. He's going to be my entire adult life. I've accepted this. But the Twins, what I've seen has been an offense that I think hasn't quite found like the position it needs to be consistent. Because we've seen, and there have been a lot of stats about their splits between scoring like 8 runs or something and then also getting shut out. It's a very feast or famine type of deal. But I think we're going to see it consolidate. And as Alex Kirilloff continues to be the first base outfield kind of guy, because there's been a lot of moving parts, Trevor Larnach in and out sort of. Nick Gordon, I don't really think he has a position, but he's bouncing around somewhere. I forgot Miguel Sano existed till someone mentioned it a few days ago. He'll be back soon eventually, whether we like it or not. But my point being that I think fundamentally it's a very good offense, and I think from there, that's all you need to build off of. Obviously, they need arms. Every team needs arms. That's the whole point of the trade deadline, and I think they're going to get them. So that's why I don't really feel too worried about them.
Oh, you think the Twins are going to go get arms?
Really? Oh, I don't think that. I don't. Do I have a piece of paper? I'll write it down. I know they will. I know they will now.
No, they will go out and make some moves at the deadline. So, Matt, you're feeling like this is a team. It's a couple pieces away from, in October, because this is important. I know we're trying to win the Central. The Twins are trying to win the Central. They're trying to get to the playoffs. That's a success after last year. But I know that I'm sitting here. I'm sick of hearing about the losing streak. I'm sick of getting to October, and I'm sick of watching the Twins crumble. I think all Twins fans are. So the point is, okay, this team might be good enough to win a bad American League Central. This team will likely make the playoffs. Like, I'm confident saying they will likely make the playoffs this year. But what does that mean? Like, they get to October, do they have a legitimate chance to be a team that someone else looks at, whether it's, the Astros or the Yankees or the Red Sox, and says, okay, the Twins look like they're finally putting it together this year in October?
Right. Well, I'm glad you framed it that way, because I hate this because it's not as statistically inclined as I like to be, but I do think there's an emotional aspect to this game and to any sport really, where if you're the Twins and if you're any AL team that's not Houston and New York, and you have to face Houston or New York, you're scared shitless.
Yes.
Those are good teams. Those are fundamentally solid teams.
Especially on the road.
Especially on the road. I mean, They just spent the entire series kicking the crap out of each other. Some of the best baseball being played in this generation is being played when these two teams face each other. And the Twins just don't have the reputation. They don't have the record. And as of now, they don't have the players to be able to stand up and pound their chest and say that we're in this level as well. But I will say this, and this is why I'm so optimistic. So let's look back in 2019, just the only other full year, under this regime that they're in contention like they were now.
Yeah.
What did they do? They did go out at the deadline. They got 2 arms. One of them worked out. One of them didn't, in horrifying fashion. But they did show that they know they can get relievers. And they know that they need to get relievers, and when they need to get relievers. It's very obvious they need relievers right now. So I believe they will get that because they've done that in the past. Now as well, and why I'm more confident in this is because of this last offseason, where I came on this program, and I know a lot of people thought about it and said, well, I think they're going to play it a little safe, where it's such a weird year, who knows where it's going to go. They're kind of underperforming. You got Byron, you got all this. What did they do? They signed Carlos Correa. They trade for Sonny Gray. They do all this whack nonsense that I didn't know they had in them. I don't think anyone knew they had in them. And now it's just like, well, okay, you can say they've never gotten an ace. I think Sonny Gray's an ace. I think they have done that. Oh, they've never ponied up for the big player. Oh, what the hell do you call Carlos Correa then? So that wall is torn down completely, and I think they're gonna get that guy. Is it Frankie Montas? Is it Tyler Mahle? Is it a wild card from a team we're not expecting? I don't know, but I do think they're gonna do it now because they recognize what they have to do and the kind of moves they have to make to take that next step.
I mean, it's crazy to say because like this should be the case for every team, but I don't think it is. They want to win. I feel that they are competitive and they want to end this streak. I think they want it on their ledger that they ended this losing streak in October. And part of me, I'm enjoying the day-to-day, but there is definitely a part of me that I watch and I just say, okay, when I watch every day, I need to just see something that shows me that they can compete when it really matters in October, like in the playoffs. And I think the goal for this team, of course, should be win the Central because then you get that home series. You get 3 games at home, a 3-game series. All those games are at home. I think you should end the streak right there. If you don't, that's awful. Like you should end the streak there. You win a playoff series, and if you're the 3 seed, then you go to Houston. That's the best case scenario here for me. And I mean, that's not ideal because you got to go to Houston in the ALDS, but then you would have won a playoff series to get there, and you feel like you got that monkey off your back. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's June, but I think ahead, Matt. I'm just thinking about what this looks like down the stretch. And I'm glad you think that they're going to add arms. That's exciting. And I hope they do. I definitely hope they do. Do you have any sense, like, do you feel that they could use another bat? Because to me, the bottom of this lineup, at times, it's not very complete. And we know the injury histories of Correa, of Buxton, of Luis Arraez in his knees. Jorge Polanco now is on the injured list for the first time in his career. Alex Kirilloff's wrist. There's a lot of injury questions in this lineup. When they're fully healthy, I agree. I think it's an elite lineup. But if it's not, Matt, couldn't they go out and get another bat as well?
Maybe. I'll be honest. This hasn't been something I've thought about a whole lot, so I'm not prepared to really give you a fully detailed answer. So unfortunately, I'm just going to hide behind maybe. But yeah, you do point out there are occasionally the infuriating thing is it seems like the holes, it's like as they plug one, another one pops up.
Yeah.
Right. As they're like, okay, Luis Arraez, we can move him to first. Oh wait, Jorge Polanco just got injured. Right. And it's this entire game. Okay, this guy got injured. Let's call up Jose Miranda. Oh wait, he's not hitting. Trevor Larnach was hitting. Now he's not. Now he's injured. And it's just like consistently, it's kind of, well, it's very frustrating, not kind of frustrating. So I think that is what makes it tough. You say add a bat, you ask what position, because it feels like they're going to plug that one and then someone else is going to go down somewhere else. So I'm not sure unless you have like super mega Ben Zobrist available. And I don't see that in the horizon. Then I'm not so sure.
We'll see. It was a crazy offseason. It was a crazy winter. And Matt and I were here in March as it was breaking down literally right before our eyes.
Literally, yeah.
Leading up to the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. And I'm sure Matt and I will talk before then. We got the All-Star break in like 3 weeks, dude. It's just crazy. This season, it flies along, but we're not even halfway. It feels like we played 10 seasons because of all the ups and downs. Twins will go to Cleveland. And Matt, we're going to get a prediction on record. You think the Twins will take 3 out of 5 in Cleveland?
Ooh, let's do this. Is Josh Winder starting one of the
Winder days? Smeltzer Tuesday is my Monday is going to be Sunny. Tuesday is Winder Smeltzer. Thursday is Bundy. Wednesday is Bundy. Thursday is Archer. That's I believe the rotation there.
Oh baby, that's Sonny Gray and a whole lot of question marks.
Yep.
Maybe. Okay, you know what? I was optimistic the entire way. Let's stay with it. Yes, they take 3 out of 5. I don't want to say that this team is good enough to make the playoffs and be like, oh, I don't know if they can beat Cleveland. They can beat Cleveland. Okay, yeah, they'll take 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, and then they got Baltimore at home. So that's your week ahead for the Twins.
Hey, doubleheaders in Cleveland, historically very good for the Twins.
Yes. 2019, Miguel Sano. We're going to hear his name more as he gets closer to a return, and I'm sure Matt and I will talk about him as we always do, like on every episode we talk Miguel Sano. Matt, thank you, sir. We'll talk again soon. Thank you for listening today, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, follow Matt on Twitter at Matthew_B Twins. He's been doing this for a long time, and we love having him, and I know people have asked me, like, when's Matt coming on? Here's Matt. Matt, thank you, sir. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Love you, brother.